Hey friends, Michelle here with Rising Sun Oracle. Welcome to the channel if you are new, and welcome back if you are returning. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for your support, for your likes, your shares, your comments. We are here with another edition of Tea and Tarot, and I'm excited to share with you my guest today, Lindsay, Lady Phoenix. How you doing, Lindsay?
I am
Welcome.
fabulous. Thank you for having me. How's your day?
Everything is going great, and I am excited to have you here. Thank you for making the time to join us today.
Always my pleasure. I'm stoked to be here today.
Please introduce yourself to the audience. Share with them what it is that you do, what your services are. Take it away.
So I am Lindsay, aka Lady Phoenix. I go by Serenity Cavern Healing. That is where I got my start, but I am a twin flame specialist. I do guided meditations, past life regressions, get in touch with the Akashic records. I do Reiki. I just like to be able to heal your heart, bless your soul, help you on your journey, and kind of teach you the ways to get in touch with your intuition and to trust yourself and get out of your ego and stay present.
That's a good one. You know what? You're the first to say that. Step out of the ego, step into the heart. Let's get in there and explore.
Yeah.
Awesome. Can you share with us how your journey began?
I have been intuitive my entire life. Right out of high school, I went into um, well, I had a short stint in junior college. Let's just be real with that. But I decided to go to hair school because I wanted to make people feel really good about themselves. So I figured, the beauty industry was a great way to do that. And while I was in cosmetology school, a dear friend of mine, Shannon, taught me how to read Gong Hee Fat Choi, which are Chinese fortune cards. So I stayed with those for years and years and years. I was a hairdresser for about 17 years. I was a personal trainer. So everything for me was making people feel good about themselves, but it was all external. Um, and I would always do readings for friends. I would always, my clients would sit in my chair and we would do healing sessions, or, I would help read their aura or just little things here and there. And little downloads come in. Oh, by the way, like your sister's husband is this, or, little things like little zodiac things coming through. And I had a couple clients that were like, you should just do this for a living. Um, and COVID hit, and as a hairdresser and a personal trainer, I was like, well, can't really do much now. So I was out for a run one morning and I got a download, Serenity Cavern Healing is you. And so I just went full force into it. I got certified in past life regressions. I got certified in Reiki 1 and 2. Um, I've always been doing guided meditations. So I always had a bunch of cards. I now have a ridiculous amount of decks. I'm creating my own. And I just, wanted to be able to share the message. So it was like I hit the ground running and I've taken off and gotten to help a lot of people on their journey and get in touch with who they are.
Have you found, since COVID sort of was a little bit of a catalyst for change for you, and that you had to step away from what you were doing and then figuring out other ways to help heal other people, bring messages? Um, Having said that, what did you find when you jumped into this, and sort of what energies were at play with people when you went out there and decided to move in this direction?
Honestly, I wanted to just kind of calm people down. I feel like there was so much fear, so much anxiety, and I focus a lot on the ego because I feel like a lot of people look at ego as like being so like peacocking, like look at me. But ego can also be your self-betrayal, your anxiety, your fear, self-loathing, your negative self-talk, um, lack of self-love. Like that's where your ego really takes a hold. So I feel like that it was like taking everybody from an ego-based mentality of putting everyone else first and putting yourself last and feeling like the other shoe was going to drop, and kind of shifting that into like really coming into alignment with yourself and working through your ascension. So the energies out there were really intense, really emotional. Um, and I feel like so many people were just so lost and they didn't know where to go and where to turn to. And the more that you get in touch with yourself, the more that you're able to kind of help navigate. Like the students become the teachers become the students. It's like this infinite circle of learning and sharing and helping and healing.
Now that we're about a year and a half into COVID life and
Yeah.
the changes are taking place, are you finding that energies are shifting, or your clients are changing?
I think people are definitely calming down. I'm seeing so much growth in a lot of my clients where before it was like most of my clients have been divine feminines on the twin flame journey. And in the beginning, it was like, my person's never coming back. My person doesn't love me. Like, they don't want to be with me. Like, this is the end of the world. And now they're like, well, I can connect in 5D. I can have these conversations. I know that there's like a multi-dimensional state that I have access to. And so I'm just focusing on my own growth and my own journey and, digging into my shadow side and really focusing on the things that I need to heal from this life, from my childhood, from my past experiences, from past lives, being able to tap into anything that they need to be able to release it. And for some of them, I mean, I feel like it's a staircase, but sometimes like you got to take a few steps back. It's not a staircase, it's like a slingshot. So it's like sometimes like the universe is going to pull you back and you have to relive some of these lessons so it can skyrocket and shoot you forward into leveling up, into a new perspective, into the next chapter of your book of life.
Wonderful advice for sharing with us, and seeing the growth in your clients and things and how things have been changing for them. I'm wondering if you can share with us, because you are new to deck creation, can you share with us the journey of deck creation?
It, for me, was actually fairly simple. If you can trust your intuition, it was like I would just be sitting here and messages would just start popping in my head. So I would just start writing those down, going back, thinking on them, editing them. Um, but it's like I've got a notepad of, so many different things that I want to put on decks where it's like I've got my goddess deck where it's so many just amazing messages to help you step into your power and to step into your own light and to not dim your light for other people or tarnish or take off your crown. And then because I am so in tune with the divine feminines, I get a lot of channeled messages from the divine masculines. So it's like, oh, that's a good saying. So it's really just trusting those repetitive thoughts in your head and getting them down on paper and then revising them until you feel it in your soul that it feels right for you. And once that feels right, it's a matter of choosing images or a theme that you feel like is going to work for you. And then from there, it's just getting it on paper. And then I order one deck to start with, make sure I like the size, make sure I like, the finish, everything about it, check for my typos because, I'm a Leo and even though I have my bachelor's in English, I don't like grammar. So I'm like, oh gosh, I really like, there's no apostrophes here. Or really just being able to check for every little detail and then get it out. And I mean, there is one card that I had a typo on. So what I did is I'll pre-order a bunch of decks to sell. And then I ordered one whole deck of just the card that I needed to fix. So whenever I ship those out, I ship out the full deck with the one card just to make sure it's like, I want you to have the right deck. So it's just, I feel like, I mean, I saw something with Tommy Hilfiger and somebody asked him for advice. Like, if you're going to come out as a fashion designer and you want to create something amazing, what is the best advice you can give? And he said, always go with your first thought. Your second thought is trash. Your first thought is the one you want to go with. And what he said in non-spiritual terms is trust your intuition, trust your higher self, trust what downloads you are getting from the universe and go with that, because the second thought is always your ego. When you hear no, wait, don't, stop, hold up, like do this instead, that is your ego-based self trying to veer you off track from your true and righteous path. So if you can trust in that first thought in anything you do, whether you're creating a deck, whether it's your career, whether it's how you're dealing with your person, how you're dealing with your children, whatever it is you might be doing. If you trust that first thought, you're never going to go wrong. It's either going to work out in your favor or it's going to be a lesson that your soul needed to learn.
Well said. Well said. Great advice. I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing your intuitive gift with us with a channeled message for the collective, tuning into their energy today and what
Yeah,
they would need to hear today to be of their highest and greatest good today.
absolutely. So I'm going to use the secret language of light because, oh, hi, my dog's trying to get involved in the conversation. um, I just feel like because this is coming out around a full moon, there's going to be a lot that we need to release. So I feel like rather than tapping into something like fully loved based, if that comes out, great. But I feel like let's kind of see what needs to be released. What do we need to bring in? Where do we want to go? What are we feeling? Whatever spirit wants us to know, especially because, Leo into Virgo season is going to be a big shift, moving into something super analytical, something really intense. So it's needing to create space, needing to, and this card, I always say it's like Marie Kondo, right? So it's like if it's not bringing you joy in your life, if it's not bringing you the things that you need, get rid of it. So you can't just, when you go to clean out your closet, don't just push everything off to the side. You're still not creating space. You actually have to uproot it and get rid of it. So this is really allowing yourself to create the space to get rid of everything. And we have a lot of yellow here in the center. So this is taking your power back. Create space for anything that no longer serves you so that you can bring in something that is so much better for you, because that's going to aid in your awakening. So release what no longer serves you, allow you to step into your awakening, step into your passion, your zest for life, the things that you are meant to do, because that's going to bring in what makes your soul sing. That's going to help you trust your intuition. When you are doing what everybody else wants you to do and what everybody else needs you to do, you're not able to fully step into your power because you're betraying yourself, you're betraying your soul. So if you can allow yourself to trust your intuition, you know that you are the universe. You have everything you need within you, and you don't need to seek validation from outside sources. So this is the time to release your fear, to release your self-loathing, to release your need to please others. Like people pleasing is popping in my head huge. Um, and stop fighting your will. It's There's so many people that just want to be right or do things the right way, but sometimes you just have to do what feels right. So stop fighting what your internal self is telling you and allow yourself to really step into a space of being able to let go. And for me, surrender is a huge thing. And I feel like there's so many people that look at surrender because we've been raised, our society for so long has been in this conquered based, war based society of being better than everybody else and having a hierarchy and a lot of degradation. And so when you think of surrender, it's like waving the white flag, it's like defeat, it's failure, it's letting somebody else win. But if you have the utmost most faith in spirit, in the creator, in God, whatever you may believe, it's not about failure. It's about letting go of control and having the absolute faith that everything is going to work out for your highest good, for the highest good of everyone else. So right now, this is the time for you to find what makes your soul sing, for you to be able to do what makes your heart happy. If you've been wanting a new career shift, walk away from it. Walk away from anything that no longer serves you and just have faith that everything is going to work out in your highest good, for your highest good, for the highest good of the collective. Because I think that the more that you step into your power, the less that you are in a fear-based space, the more you can let go of your ego, the more that you can step into your truth and trust in that voice, trust in that whisper, trust in your higher self, to be able to connect to that and to connect to yourself on a deeper level, to find what makes you happy and stop betraying yourself, stop dimming your light. If you're talented at something, stop making somebody else feel comfortable by dimming who you are and being less talented. Let yourself shine. It's not about making other people uncomfortable. People are going to be triggered at this time. People are going to be uncomfortable. But if you're triggering someone by something that you're doing or something that you say or just being who you are, you have to understand you don't need to apologize for that. That is on them. That is something that they need to deal with. That is something that they need to learn. And you might be the catalyst for their growth. So stop holding yourself back and allow yourself to propel forward into a space of your highest existence.
It's a beautiful message. Great empowerment message for the collective and what we're learning to let go of during this full moon so that we can create more space for something beautiful, new beginnings coming into your soul and yourself. Thank you, Lindsay, for being here and contributing this beautiful message to the collective today.
Thank you for having me. It was an absolute pleasure, and your energy is fabulous, and I am grateful for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, friends, this has been Lindsay of A Lady Phoenix. And again, Serenity Cavern Healing, correct, is now what we're moving into. Awesome. Thanks for joining us today. Please be sure to leave some comments for Lindsay below, and all her information will be here so you can find her on her space. And we wish you a great day, friends. Take care, Lindsay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Bye.